humans, it's me. I'm back. I realize I haven't posted in like 3 months, and there's a few reasons for that. The first is that this channel has not really been going in the direction I thought it would when I first created it. I wanted it to be about music, about stories, about all these creative things that I was doing, and after the accident I started losing interest in those creative things, and it made it kind of difficult for me to produce videos. Like, if I don't like those things, then what the fuck am I doing? I don't want this channel to be about the fact that I lost my leg at such a young age, or anything else. Like, I wanted it to be hopeful, not just this sob story of my life. And the second thing is that when I made my last video, the amputee Q&A, one of my close friends had decided to cut himself out of my life completely. We had this really stupid drunk fight. I confronted him about it the next morning, and he responded by leaving and never talking to me again. And that was really depressing. Usually I could have handled it, but I had just learned that my chances of walking again were a lot slimmer than I thought they would be. And I was having to deal with that with absolutely no support system. So what do you do in that situation when your only friend leaves you? You get super depressed, suicidal, and you drink every day is what you do. And maybe you drunk call that one guy you went on a road trip with last October, you know? The one where they didn't have seatbelts in the car. Maybe you tell him how much you want to die, and then he suggests that you take an 800-mile train ride just to hang out with him, and maybe you accept because you really don't have any better options and you're probably going to be dead in a month anyway. And that actually helped for a while, because it seemed like I had a friend again. He ended up staying at my apartment for a few weeks. I ended up going to Ireland for LeakyCon, which was really awesome, but I am not an easy person to share close quarters with for an extended period of time, as we should have realized when we were living in a car together for 3 weeks last fall. So he eventually left. He went back to San Francisco, and I was alone again. I figured the only way things were going to get better for me was if I could walk. So I put all my efforts into finding a way to do that. I actually had a socket made for my leg so I could get a prosthetic, hopefully. And I've been trying to do that for a very long time. In December they told me it would be 2 months, and then every 2 months after that they said just another 2 months. And it finally happened in August, I think. But I could not wear the socket. It was super painful. I could barely move, even if I wanted to try to move through the pain. It was just too likely that I was going to mess up the skin grafts and maybe get another infection, and I really didn't want to go through all that. So I started looking into other options. There is something called osseointegration surgery, which is where they would put a rod in my leg and that would eliminate the need for a socket. Unfortunately, there's a lot of complications that come with it. There's a high risk for infection, there's a lot of stuff that you need to do, you need to be in good health. You're supposed to be above the age of 22, which I am not, I am 19. But I needed this really, really badly. So right now I am doing everything in my power to have this surgery done. Coincidentally, one of the few places in America that does this is the University of California, San Francisco, the very same place that my friend lives. Turns out he doesn't really consider us friends. Like, thanks, dude. So now my grand total of friends is back to 0. But trying to get accepted for surgery in San Francisco is very difficult when you're living in Virginia, so I've decided to move out here, and that's where I am now. Is it guaranteed that I will get accepted for this surgery? No. But it was pretty guaranteed that if I stayed where I was, I would be doing nothing for my leg, nothing for my mental health. I would probably end up shooting myself in the face. And I realize to a lot of people it probably sounds really irresponsible to move thousands of miles away and live in a really expensive city for a surgery that I don't even know I'm gonna get. But this is the end of the line for me. If this doesn't work, I don't know what else I can do to have a shot at happiness. Pretty much all of the things that make me happy involve walking again. It's so hard to do anything in a wheelchair. And if I have to sell videos of my naked body to pay for this shot at happiness, then I'll do it. Although, really, I can't talk about that because YouTube would probably delete my account. They already revoked my right to live stream. so that's super fun. Thanks, YouTube. I do want to take a second to point out the parallels in my life though. Last October, I was on a road trip across the country heading for San Francisco, and this October, I live here with one of the people I was coming here with in the first place. It's just very ironic that I ended up here for a completely different reason. If I believed in fate or that there was a meaning to life, I would say, hey, maybe this was meant to happen, but I don't, and there's probably not, so. If I end up losing another limb this time though, I'm gonna be hella pissed.